Hello, this is Rory with the Love Chat, and today's topic is the fading affect bias. Now, this is video number 164. If you have a question you'd like for me to consider featuring on the channel, please write it in a comment below. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe and hit like. Also, if you'd like to do a Skype or email coaching, just visit my website, thelovechat.net/coaching. Now then, let's talk about the fading affect bias. This is something a lot of you have probably heard of, but aren't quite sure exactly what it is or what it does when you look it up. So let's discuss it, let's dive a bit deeper so we can all be educated. And furthermore, let's talk about how this can help you in your relationship. And in typical fashion, we are going to be describing exactly what it is without any extra added to it. We're going to describe exactly what it does as we have come to understand it in science. And we're not going to be using it for any gimmicky type things. I'm going to explain to you exactly what the fading affect bias is, and the common definition that we have here is the fading affect bias, more commonly known as FAB, is a psychological phenomena in which memories associated with negative emotions tend to be forgotten more quickly than those associated with positive emotions. So let's listen to that. In which memories associated with negativity fades from our brain faster than with positivity. So I use a common example a lot with my coaching clients. I say that there was a time when I was 16, maybe 17, and I went to an amusement park with my friends. I ate a lot of hot dogs, I ate a lot of cotton candy, and then I rode a roller coaster, and what do you think happened? I got off the roller coaster and I threw up for what seemed like an eternity. I was not very happy that day. And yet now, when I look back upon that as somebody much older, I kind of laugh. And whenever my friends and I talk about that one day where I threw up all over that roller coaster, it's something that's funny. It brings a positive emotion. It's pleasant. And look, a lot of the things that you're going to hear about on the internet are going to be overstated, but this one's been pretty well researched. So let me quote a piece from a scholarly article. And if you would like to look up your own literature on the fading affect bias, Google actually does have a scholarly article feature, so you can just type in fading affect bias scholarly articles, meaning professional studies, and you can look it up for yourself. So this one goes on to say, the fading affect bias is a robust effect in autobiographical memory, in other words, memory of the self, autobiography, that has been replicated using a variety of methods and populations, meaning different test groups. The fading affect bias is linked to both cognitive and social, keyword, processes that support a positive view of the self. Accordingly, we speculate that one function of the fading affect bias may be to induce individuals to be positive and action-oriented so that they may better face and master life challenges. So think about what that says. It says that we have a proclivity to look on the bright side of everything when we're given a little bit of time, because it helps us survive and live a happier life. To induce individuals to be positive. So think about that. I've researched about 13 other scholarly articles that use the same verbiage. We look upon the past favorably because it helps us live a better life and it helps us take action based on what we've learned. We very much, when given the element of time, look upon the past favorably so that we can learn to live better. So why would your ex be pardoned from this thing that's been so deeply studied in so many cultures and groups and demographics in general? And the answer is they're not. They're not pardoned from the effects of something that's extremely well known and studied, just because you're going through a breakup and you don't believe that it works. Can I promise you that every single ex will reach out? That every single ex will want to come back? I cannot. Nobody can. Not your counselor, not a different dating coach, nobody. But can I promise you that the effects of the fading affect bias work? They absolutely do. And we can even pull some reminders. Times where you've thought about school, even though when you were in school, you couldn't stand it. It sucked. Having to get up early in the morning and having to do homework. But now you look back at it and you miss it. And you miss the innocence that it brought. And the friends that you were pretty much forced to have. Now, the next question you might be asking yourself is, okay, fine. Fading affect bias exists. How long does it last for? Are we talking about a couple of months or a couple of years? Well, pulling yet another study from an article in ResearchGate in Applied Cognitive Psychology. I pulled this direct quote. Research has shown that the tendency for emotional affect to fade more over time for unpleasant events than for pleasant events, known as the fading affect bias, increased across 3 months, 9 months, and 4.5 years. In other words, as time goes on, the fading affect bias becomes even more powerful. As time goes on, your ex remembers the positive memories far stronger than the negative ones. So, for those of you worried that the last interaction you had with your ex was a negative one, I say to you, give it time. And the best thing of all is that this has been studied time and time and time again. It's not up for debate. This is part of how the brain works. So, I hope that this video on the fading affect bias has given you some peace of mind. And remember that the fading affect bias does not limit itself to just relationships, but the brain in general, experiences in general. So I hope you've enjoyed this bit of education about the fading affect bias, and that's all I had for today. If you found my video helpful, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Please leave a comment below and tell me what topics you want me to cover in the future. Additionally, if you'd like extra love chat videos every week, private live streams with me, and free giveaways of my book being released at the end of July, just visit my Patreon. Patreon.com/thelovechat. Until next time.